Setting up an SRX800D version for use as a tester in the office. Power up your receiver, plug in your USB to your computer USB port, and make sure that your receiver is turned on. Make sure you have a rubber duck antenna which is supplied with the receiver in the first port, antenna port 1 as well. On the host, connect to your receiver using USB. You should see these menu items here. Make sure that you log on, and sometimes it asks you to actually put in your password, which is 123456, and then you'll have full functionality. Make sure that your receiver is in setup mode. That can be found on the user access. If it's data logging, make sure that you press the small red circle with the white square in the middle, and right beside it says setup. And then make sure that you remove any data that's on board your receiver, because even if it is a wake-up report, and then you just press reset data memory here in the lower right, and you go yes to that question, and then go exit. Your receiver now is clear of data and it's in setup mode. Go to your project editor, the icon that looks like a little man at work, and then go live. It's the button right in the middle in the green and blue background. Make sure that you set your scan time first off. It should be half a second or so longer than your transmitter interval. In my case, I believe mine are 5, so I'll just set it at 6 or 5.6 will do. And then next up, select your code set. As you can see here, this Low-Tech 3 is 212 codes, and you have your choice, of course. It's generally whatever is written on your ship sheet, which you receive with your transmitters. In this case, I'm going to use Low-Tech 4 because there was 521 necessary, and the number of codes here is written 521, and this is also called the 2003 code set because it was manufactured at that date. Since I'm in an office, I don't need to do the GPS clock. I'm just going to be testing my tags today. So I must send this to my receiver. It gives us a little warning because I haven't set any antennas. So I'm just going to go done. Next, I'm going to go to frequency and channels. Remember now, there's nothing on this receiver, so in my case, I've got 167.740. And the tag type down below, I can set any channel number up to 999. Some people select 740 just so that they know which ID was, especially if you have multiple frequencies. In this case, I'm just going to do testing, so I'm going to check ID only by using that down arrow, and then I'm going to move it into the main, onto the main section there by using the fast forward button here, the little green button with the black arrows. And then I'm going to select apply. Next step is to set up my radio antenna. In this case, I'm just going to use the SRX800D antenna switch. I'm going to only use the one port, so I have to click here and add that one port, and then select a gain, a very low gain, because I'm in an office situation. I only have a small rubber duck, but there's a lot of radio interference in an office. You could have a lot of electromagnetic interference. So let's just bring it down to about 20. Select apply, and then make sure that the filter settings are no filters. You really don't need to enable pulse width or signal strength deviation. These are used a lot of times with BPM type tags. And the echo and the noise threshold, these are just standard settings. So I'm just going to apply this. Sensors, there should be no sensors. And sleep schedule should be always on 24 hours a day. So I do not have that enabled. It's on awake. As you can see, all these little check marks. That's for the whole 24 hours a day. So just press send to receiver and then OK. By pressing the send to receiver, you've put it on board. So now I'm going to press OK, and it's going to ask me to save an SRX file. I'm going to go yes, and office setup. I'm just going to write office, and it'll save it as office.srx. So just going to save it. And now, if I want to test my transmitters, all I have to do is hit data log. It'll monitor that channel, and then live view. Now every 6 seconds you're going to see this change from antenna 1. It's just the scan time basically. And now I'm going to start up a transmitter, and we'll see ID 504, and every 5 seconds or so it's set at 4, so every 4 seconds or so you're going to see ID 504, and it's going to max out that power level in the middle here where my cursor is. Shows you that it's maxing out the power, so it's very close to the antenna, unfortunately, but this will give you your right ID, and you should be okay to turn off that tag and go to the next one.